Good morning, students. So, just like the first experiment, now we are going to completely prepare our second experiment. It is just like the first one, a redox titration, and it is a very easy practical. So what we have to do now in this practical, we have to determine the concentration of potassium permanganate solution by titrating it against the solution of 0.05 molar ferrous ammonium sulfate, which is also known as a Mohr salt. Ferrous ammonium sulfate, NH4 twice SO4 into FeSO4 into 6H2. Now look at the difference between the first experiment and the second experiment. It is a very simple difference, because in the first experiment we used oxalic acid. In this one we are going to use ferrous ammonium sulfate. In the burette, KMnO4 is constant. In the first experiment we took KMnO4 in the burette. Now again we are going to take KMnO4 solution of unknown concentration in burette again. We will set it up to the 0 mark like I told you in the first experiment. Okay. The second difference between the first practical and the second one, that will be of the heating. In the first practical, after taking 10 ml of oxalic acid and H2SO4, we were heating conical flask up to the 60 degrees Celsius. But in this second experiment, we are not going to heat our conical flask. We are simply going to take 10 ml of ferrous ammonium sulfate. We are going to add some of the sulfuric acid for acidic medium, and we are directly going to titrate it. We will see it in the laboratory also after the explanation of this, all the theories and how to write it. Okay. So apparatus required, yani ki which type of instruments we are going to use? Measuring flask, in which we are going to prepare our 100 ml 0.05 molar ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Burette for the KMnO4. Burette stand to use burette. Pipette for 10 ml ferrous ammonium sulfate. Funnel to add KMnO4 into the burette. Conical flask for a reaction. Chemical balance to measure mass of ferrous ammonium sulfate. Beaker for any other purposes, to store some of the solutions. Okay. Which materials which are going to be required in this experiment? 3 materials will be there: ferrous ammonium sulfate salt, H2SO4 sulfuric acid, and potassium permanganate unknown solution. Now like the first experiment, in this experiment also we are going to fill up the burette by unknown concentration of KMnO4 solution. In the conical flask, we are going to take 0.05 molar ferrous ammonium sulfate solution up to 10 ml, exact 10 ml, and we are going to add half of the test tube, or you can say some of the drops of sulfuric acid solution. Now indicator. You know that like the first experiment, KMnO4 is the self indicator, because as long as KMnO4 is reacting, its violet color will be removed. So at the end point of the reaction, violet color will not disappear, and that's why solution becomes a very light pink, or you can say violet. That's why KMnO4 is known as a self indicator. We are not going to add any other indicators here. What will be the color change? Okay, the solution will be colorless of ferrous ammonium sulfate, or you can say a very light green color. You cannot distinguish between these two because it is very light. That's why we are going to write colorless, and it is going to convert at the end point into a light pink color. Okay. Now the chemical reaction. Which type of chemical reaction is occurring over here? It is a very simple chemical reaction. KMnO4 which will be oxidizing agent, and ferrous ammonium sulfate which will be reducing agent. So Fe plus 2 converted into Fe plus 3, and Mn plus 7 is converted to Mn plus 2. Okay, this NH4 twice SO4 sulfate, ammonium sulfate, it is going to be liberated from the binding salt only. Okay, so you have to remember this redox reaction because it is very important. Remember, Fe plus 2 is converting into Fe plus 3, and Mn plus 7 is converting into Mn plus 2. Now, a very important step, how to prepare 100 ml solution of 0.05 molar ferrous ammonium sulfate. Okay, just like the first experiment where we prepared solution of oxalic acid, we are going to do the same over here. You know that 1 molar of a ferrous ammonium sulfate solution with a 1 liter solution, in the sense 1000 ml solution, it will require exactly molecular mass, weight for the solution, right? Because it is 1 molar, it is 1 liter, so the amount needed will be equal to the molecular mass. The molecular mass of ferrous ammonium sulfate, remember this 6H2O will be counted in it. It will be 392 gram. So for 1 molar and 1000 ml we will require 392 gram of ferrous ammonium sulfate. Now, just like the first experiment, instead of 1 molar we are making 0.1 molar 1000 ml. So 1 point will be shifted. That's why 39.2 gram of ferrous ammonium sulfate will be required. But we do not need 1000 ml, we need 100 ml. So 0.1 molar 100 ml solution, again shift the 1 point. So it will be 3.92 gram to make 0.1 molar 100 ml solution. Now, very important thing, we do not require 0.1 molar solution, we require 0.05 molar solution. In the sense, we require half concentration whichever we have written over here. That's why to make it 0.05 molar, we have to divide our weight by 2. That's why 3.92 divided by 2, which will be equal to 1.96 exactly. That's why to prepare 0.05 molar 100 ml solution of ferrous ammonium sulfate, we will require 1.96 gram of ferrous ammonium sulfate. Okay, now how we will prepare it? So we will wait in the chemical balance exactly 1.96 gram of ferrous ammonium sulfate salt. We will transfer it into a beaker, small beaker. We will add some water into it, we will stir it, we will dissolve it, and this beaker solution will be transferred into the measuring flask, and we will fill up the water up to the 100 ml mark, and that solution will become 0.05 molar ferrous ammonium sulfate solution. Now let's talk about the observation table. Again, it will be same as the first experiment. Now, before we start our practical, we have to wash every single thing properly. Okay, after that we are filling our burette with the KMnO4 and we are setting it up to the 0 point. That's why our initial reading will be 0.0 in every single reading. Why? Because after the completion of one reading, we are again converting KMnO4 volume to 0. We are filling it up every single time we do a new reading. Okay, what we will do now? We will take a pipette, we suck out the 10 ml ferrous ammonium sulfate, we will add it to the conical flask, half test tube or a few drops of H2SO4 in it, and after that directly titration with KMnO4. At the end point, in the sense at the very light pink color, we will stop and the reading will be written in the final reading. The difference between these two will be as the final reading. We will repeat this process 4 times. Okay, and after these 4 readings, we are going to calculate the average of these 4 reading, and remember that in that average one number will be always there after the point, not 2, because least count of the burette is 0.1 ml only. Okay, now let's talk about the calculation. So this average concurrent reading is our V2. That means that is the volume of KMnO4 required for 10 ml ferrous ammonium sulfate. So now our first calculation will be how to calculate concentration of KMnO4 in molarity. You know the formula as per the first experiment. A1 M1 V1 will be equal to A2 M2 V2. Now this one number stands for ferrous ammonium sulfate and two number stands for KMnO4, where simply A1 is equal to 1 because Fe plus 2 is converting into Fe plus 3. M1 will be the molarity concentration of ferrous ammonium sulfate, which is 0.05 molar because we have made it. Volume of ferrous ammonium sulfate, every single reading contains 10 ml by pipette, that's why V1 will be 10. Now A2 will be 5. Why? Because Mn plus 7 is converting into Mn plus 2, transfer of 5 electrons, that's why A2 will be equal to 5. M2, concentration of molarity, which we are going to find out, that's why there is a X, and volume of the KMnO4 solution, we have calculated it by experiment V2, so that will be put it down over here. Now look at this, we want M2, so if A2 and V2 comes on the other side of the equal, it will be in the denominator, that's why M2 will be equal to A1 M1 V1 divided by A2 V2. Put down the values. So A1 will be equal to 1, M1 will be 0.05, V1 will be 10, A2 will be 5 and V2 we have calculated from the practical. Use the calculator, you will get your answer. The first result, first calculation will be molarity of KMnO4. Now we have to calculate strength of KMnO4, or you can say gram per liter of KMnO4 also. That's why there is a very simple formula, molarity of KMnO4 into molar mass of KMnO4, like the first practical. So molarity of KMnO4 M2 will be multiplied by molar mass of KMnO4 158. Multiply it, you will get your answer in gram per liter, or you can say strength of KMnO4. Now we have calculated both of the values, so we are simply going to write it down in the result. First one will be molarity of KMnO4 solution, this, and strength, or you can say gram per liter of KMnO4 solution will be this. So you have to write this whole practical as given over here, okay, and now we are going to perform this whole practical in the lab, okay. Let's do this. So as we talk, now we are going to perform our practical number 2. So as you can see, I have told you already that in the practical one, first of all we have to wash the burette, and after that we are going to fill up this burette with KMnO4. So as per our practical one, I have washed it and already have setting that on the 0 scale. You can see that I have already set it that on the 0. So now without wasting any time, we can start our practical. Let me remind you something, that in the practical one we have used oxalic acid versus potassium permanganate, but right now we are doing practical with potassium permanganate and ferrous ammonium sulfate salt, the Mohr salt. Right now, as I told you, we have to weigh the Mohr salt, we have to put it down in the water, we have to dissolve it, and after that we are going to transfer in this particular measuring flask. And after we transfer this in the measuring flask, we have to set it up to the mark using water. So I have set it that on the mark, you can see that there is a mark over here. Now you can see that there is a mark over here, a grind mark. Now this particular mark shows that this solution is up to the 100 ml as per the experiment number 1. Now I am simply going to transfer this Mohr salt solution into the small beaker so that we can use for the titrations. Now, what is the procedure? It is a very simple procedure. We are going to use the pipette. We are going to suck out the 10 ml solution up to the mark, and after that we will transfer it into the conical flask. So let's do that. You can see that the solution is coming down and going to the mark. Okay, so solution is up to the mark. Now we are transferring it into the conical flask. Okay, so the first step is completed. Now for the second step, we have to add 2 to 3 drops 1 molar concentrated sulfuric acid. So our solution is completely prepared. Now what we have to do? We have to simply titrate it against the KMnO4. Remember that in the experiment 1, we were heating the conical flask and the oxalic acid at the 60 degrees Celsius. But for the Mohr salt, heating is not required. That's why we are directly going to titrate it against the KMnO4. So let's do this. So I am adding potassium permanganate drop by drop into the 0.05 molar solution of 10 ml Mohr salt, in the sense ferrous ammonium sulfate. So you can see that likewise the experiment 1, the violet color of potassium permanganate is disappearing. That means solution's color change will be from colorless to the light pink. So you can see that the violet color is instantly disappearing, and the speed of that particular thing will decrease as the solution increase of the KMnO4. Now I am going to increase a little bit amount of speed so that we can complete the practical. Now I am going to slow down the speed so that if color change occurs, I will be ready for that. Because the disappearing of violet color is decreased. Now you can see that there is a slight pink color and now it is disappeared. So simply I am going to decrease the speed. I am going to add it dropwise. You can see that violet color becomes light pink, and now it is disappeared. So I am going to add one final drop of it. Now you can see that our solution has become light pink. Look at this. Our solution has been light pink. In the sense, reaction has been completed. So as per our first practical, we are going to write the reading. As per you can see over here that our reading is 8. Exactly 8 ml of KMnO4 has been added. So let's write that particular reading over here. Okay, as per I showed you, there are 3 type of readings. First will be initial reading. Initial reading is our 0.0 ml. Our final reading will be, final reading is 8.5 0. So this is our first reading. Like that we are going to conduct 3 more readings, and after that we are going to use average of that reading as a V2. So difference of this particular reading will be 08.0. Okay. So now let's repeat this particular reading as per our first practical. Okay. So what we have to do? First of all, we have to wash the conical flask. For that, simply use the tap water. Doesn't matter what you are doing. Wash it very carefully, because if there is a little bit trash of the last reading, it will affect your this reading. So simply use the stem, because water is still inside the conical flask. Now our second step. You have to fill up the burette and make it up to the 0 again. Look at this. I am going to add KMnO4, which is decreased because of the practical, and I am going to set it up to the 0 mark. You can see that here I have set it up to the 0. It is little bit more than 0, so I am just going to remove a little bit amount of KMnO4, so it will be 0 again. Okay. Now you can see that our KMnO4 has set it up to the 0 mark. Second reading, a simple thing, repeat the whole procedure. So again I am going to use the pipette. I am going to suck out the 10 ml mohr salt. After that, we are just going to add few drops of 1 molar concentrated sulfuric acid. As you can see, I am adding few drops of sulfuric acid. Now, this is our second reading. So let's do this. Okay, you can see that in the first reading, our reading was 8 ml, right? So right now, if we add 7 ml of KMnO4 into our solution, it won't make a difference. Why? Because still KMnO4 will be there. See this? A violet color disappeared. So now I am going to add KMnO4 dropwise up to the 8 ml, and we will have our reading. Okay. So what we have done? We have added 7 ml because our reading was 8. So that time will be saved. Now you can see that violet color disappeared very slowly, right? And now this is not going anywhere. That means we have our reading. Look at this. It is pink again, very light pink. Okay, that means we have our reading. So we are going to write it down over here. So our initial reading was again 0.0. Okay, as you can see. Now here, look at this. In the burette, our reading is at the 8, so that we can write our final reading as a 08.0. So our difference will be 08.0. Okay. So now, as per you can see, we have completed first 2 readings, and after that we skip third and fourth reading because I have done it already. Just you have to repeat whole procedure 2 more times and you will have 4 readings. Now what you have to do, as per your practical one, you have to calculate the average value of these 4 readings. You can see that every single reading is 8. That's why our average reading will be 8.0 ml, right, which will be our V2. Now we have to calculate 2 different things. The first thing was concentration of KMnO4 in molarities, right? Now what will be the molarity of KMnO4? So we have a formula, A1 M1 V1, which is equal to A2 M2 V2, right? Now what is the value of A1? We know that this particular thing is for Mohr's salt. 1 number stands for Mohr salt and 2 number stands for KMnO4. And we have to calculate M2. That's why M2 will be equal to A1 M1 V1 divided by A2 and V2. Now, what is the value of A1? A1 will be equal to 1. Why? Because Fe plus 2 is converted into Fe plus 3. There is only change of 1 electron. That's why A1 is equal to 1. We have already discussed this in the board work, right? In the chemical reaction. Now, what is the concentration of Mohr salt? It is 0.05 molar. Volume of the Mohr salt V1, which is equal to 10. I have already told you that the solution we have taken from the pipette is Mohr salt and the volume will be 10 ml. Now, what is the value of A2, which is equal to 5? Because Mn plus 7 is converted into Mn plus 2. That means addition of 5 electrons. So A1 will be equal to 5. Now what is the volume of KMnO4, which is equal to 8 ml. Now we are simply going to use the calculator and calculate this. So calculate in the calculator 0.05 into 10, which is equal to 0.5, divided by 5 and again divided by 8. So our answer will be 0.0125 molar. Now this is our concentration of KMnO4 in molarity, right? Our second calculation was gram per liter of KMnO4. Now formula for that will be molarity of KMnO4 multiplied by molecular mass of KMnO4. Now what is the molarity of KMnO4? We have just calculated it, 0.0125 molar, and the molecular mass is 158 gram per liter. Now multiply both the values and you will have your answer. So 0.0125 into 158. And it will be equal to 1.975 gram per liter. So this is the strength, or you can say gram per liter of KMnO4. Write both values in the result also. Okay. So here your practical number 2 has been completed, but before we complete the whole exercise, I am just going to tell you guys how you have to write your practical in the board exams, right? Okay, for the board exams, first you have to write your aim. You have to write your aim of the practical, which will be given to you in exam. After that, the second thing will be required instruments. Okay. Third thing will be required materials. After that, what have you taken in the burette? So burette, conical flask, indicator, color change. These four things are important. After that, you have to write chemical equation. After the chemical equation, you have to draw the whole observation table like we have drawn right now. Okay. After the observation table, you have to calculate the concentration of KMnO4 in molarity and gram per liter. And at the last, the ninth and the last point, result. In the result, you have to write both the values. Molarity of KMnO4 will be equal to this amount and gram per liter of KMnO4 will be of this amount. Right? So, like this, you can write in your board exams. And best of luck for your board exams. In the next session, we are going to start your practical number 19, which is inorganic compound, and we are going to find out what will be the positive radical and what will be the negative radical. Okay. So, thank you so much.